What's going on, my fellow zombies? All you emotionally deprived and sleep deprived and grief stricken. I'm going to be adding a new title on that one, aren't I? And welcome to the channel of the Diary of the Griever named John Weaver. How many of these reports do we keep coming across on our social medias that people are losing people due to suicide for various reasons? One of which got the attention of CNN, of a mother who lost her sons to the Afghan war. One was during the rush to get people out of Kabul, U.S. and other sympathizers. And second, the brother to the one who got lost in the shuffle. And he committed suicide over it because he couldn't stand the loss of his brother. If folks have been noticing the postings I've been doing these days, some things, sometimes they'll think I'm a little bit over it, and I can't tell you enough that I'm never over it. The times when I'm functional, the times when I'm actually able to communicate effectively to people, or at least try to anyway, to talk to them, not at them, to them. It's a difference. How much pain, how much grief can we each contain, and to what limit are we able to deal with until we just can't deal with it no more? Sometimes losing everything means almost losing your mind, especially for those who are siblings or family members. A woman is going to be dealing with the grief because she's in a shock right now, and she'll be dealing with it for a long while. And if she continues to try to get herself buried in a project that might alleviate part of the pain, something to contribute, something to memorialize on her family in some way, and maybe to help others. It's only a suggestion. It's only a suggestion. If she can try to do that and keep her mind off of it most days, she'll be ahead of the curve. I've seen the other curves. I've been reading the other curves. The ones that are slowly getting started into it. The ones who've already been into it and still crying over it that they keep posting. I keep sharing my experience, strength, and hope all the time. Whenever I get a chance, I'll post it out there for people to read and understand. And they do understand. And they have expressed a lot of support, because this is what we're trying to do on social media, is trying to find groups that we can try supporting each other one way or another. And it helps us out because we're still on this road. Even though we're feeling like we're alone, we're not alone, because we got everybody else feeling the same way. We're still feeling like part of our souls are still ripped out. We're functioning as a half person or a zombie of sorts. And the pain is a constant situation in our head and our heart. There is no physical, medicinal potions or pills or lotions or anything else like that can get rid of it. There's none. It will not enter the soul or the emotional heart. It might affect the neurochemistry. You might affect the blood pressure. You might elevate it, or actually lower it down to where we're supposed to be feeling. Maybe you can energize the serotonin level. But that's all the biological, chemical we have to deal with. Not the emotional, not the spiritual. Now, as I've been trying to tell people left and right on these things, I am no guru. I am no expert in any other academia. I've got no special training, except I'm going through it myself all my life. And I've been dead at the age of 4 years old during a open heart surgery. Died 3 times, came back alive 3 times. Doctor received a letter from my brother, and the doctor gave the note to my mother, who she kept for all these years. And it broke my big brother and mine's heart. Because it was my brother trying to tell the doctor, please don't let me die. It was my brother's way of telling me and telling everybody else he loved me. The hardest damn thing for me to do is hold on to that. So, and I know what it was like to go up there and back, and I don't like it, and I don't want to go through it again. Not even as an adult, not just yet. I'm not ready yet. So I try to tell people about it. But I'm no Superman. I am nowhere near Superman. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if they think I'm strong, I'm tough, and everyone else keeps saying that. I'm not strong. I'm not tough. I'm a weak, sorry son of a sea dog. I'm not about to call my mother the B word. Now, if we're talking about my biological sperm donor, that's a different story altogether. You frickin' bastard. I'm the son of a frickin' bastard. That's what I am. A biological sperm donor. And I don't treat grief, and I don't treat depression lightly. When I'm talking about it, sometimes I am grieving and I am crying like crazy. Because afterwards, I usually do get triggered like crazy. Anything regarding family, anything regarding or relating to family. We're talking about word association at this point over here. Anything relating too close to it, even when you're talking about friends or you're talking about other people or something like that, trying to group them together. And you might consider them as the F word, the family word. We're talking about a trigger for me to go crazy. My brain gets set up for it. It wants to go bawling. It just takes the right push. And then I go off. And I'm squeezing in my chest, and I'm hurting my heart and my lungs as I'm screaming silently, praying to God to forgive me. Because I feel like I am not worthy to live on this planet, but I'm not worthy enough to leave this planet either. And I keep praying for His will to be done, and I'm still here. I know what the shock phase is like because I've been through it, dealing with my mother and my brother. My mother had to deny everything when she was growing, when she was taking care of two siblings, two children of hers. My big brother, which was 8 years older than I am, and me. And she had to work for a living to support these guys. One guy already came out of the military and was screwed up in the head as it is, but he still had to find work. And me, going through high school and then had to get the hell out of it to go to college. But I still had to work part-time to do so. And we had lost a grandmother back in 82, which was my mother, my mother's mother. And it hurt like hell. It tore us each apart. It tore us so much, we couldn't even talk about our own pain and grief to each other. It's like we had to deny the damn thing and keep moving on in life. We were not allowed and not allowing ourselves to grieve and mourn. And my mother became, I think, and it's a hell of a theory for me to think, that she was on a slow ride to suicide. The suicide was allowing the pain and the grief to build up so much that it started taking her life. And the last several years of her life, she was getting weaker and weaker. She had to be bedridden. She had been vibrant. She had been a business entrepreneur. She had her own business for bookkeeping, income tax specialist. She was a powerhouse. But the emotional impact of losing every one of her siblings along the way, and she not allowing to grieve over it, took a massive toll on her. A lot of health conditions happened to where she died of respiratory failure. But I believe she died of a broken heart inside and out. They just didn't say it. But after going through my memories are concerning about my mother, how she dealt with grief, and how my brother dealt with it, comparing the two, Then comparing it how I'm dealing with it at this point over here. I think my brother was on a fast track to suicide, but he wasn't about to say it or do it. He was just going to go through it. He had a stroke a few months before his passing. And the stroke, or shall I say, the many transit ischemic attacks he had, got several areas of his brain to where it took out his speech, it took out his mobility. And gave him aphasia. The hardest thing for me to do is see my brother in that condition. And I wasn't about to put him into a nursing home. My brother and I, when we were taking care of our mother before she passed away, we kept her with us all the time. We were living in an apartment for a few years, and that's where she died. But she was home with her kids. And then the paramedics brought her back to life and gave her about 19 days of hell in the hospital. But we had forgotten, me and my brother, that Ma filed the advanced medical directive. We just could have let her die at home, that's about it, and just dealt with it. But no, we didn't even remember it. We were so damn busy trying to save her life. I hate those damn things. Dave almost came close to filling it out for himself. He died between home and the ER. All I saw left in the ER room was a slab of carcass. The mother who lost her sons. One who got killed in combat. I'm glad she didn't see the body. It would have been a nightmare for her to deal with throughout the rest of her existence. But the other son, who had to see all this. The other brother, who felt half his soul ripped out from his chest. And all he could do and think for about a year is how miserable he was going to be for the rest of his life. And he didn't want to deal with that one. He really didn't want to. He wanted to be with his brother at all costs. That meant taking his life. And probably regretting the living crap out of it too. Because now he had to deal with his mother sobbing away because she just lost both her sons. And what would hurt the most is if we actually heard the mother losing her life because she couldn't be dealing with without her family. I'm in the same fix since 2013. But along the way, I had to shut myself off after I kept losing favorite grandmother and then aunts and uncles and a few cousins that I loved and several friends that I loved, and not to mention dogs. They're still family as well, pets, everything. But I'm supposed to hang in there. I'm supposed to hang tough. I'm not supposed to grieve at all for him. Not once, because I have to be a big boy. I've got to be tough. Men are supposed to be tough and turn off the damn emotions. We're supposed to be robots. We're supposed to be strong. Yeah, right. And how many of my friends that I had to see try to kill themselves? Even beyond one was bad enough. And I was tormented by his own big brother. Back in the junior high day. But I tell you, it was hard to hold in at all Seeing all those people I loved gone. Ma gone. And the last memory of her was body dying. Her spirit's already gone. And we just get the phone call at home. But we already signed off on the paperwork an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and then the body decides. That was it. That was it. And for about a year, we had to fight by doing other things to get past the grieving, get past the pain, get past the emptiness. The thing that would have been tearing us apart every single day, but it was still the shock we had to get through, the shock wave, the initial blast. The anger? I don't know. Dave never expressed the anger, except I know he was former military, but he also had PTSD issues. He had to deal with a shrink, and he had to deal with medications, and he had to deal with nightmares. And I had to deal with them. Because I had to be his caregiver before my brother passed away in 2018. And at that point, I was still in a state of shock. I still had to take care of my own end because I was still going through community college at an adult age, late 40s to early 50s in that area, taking class courses and passing them. Adult. Couldn't do it as a kid. Out of high school, I couldn't do college. Wasted 2 years. Actually, I rested 2.5 years. I just couldn't get back into it. I just couldn't get back into it and do it. I couldn't. I didn't have perspective. I didn't have the context. I didn't have the maturity for it. I didn't have anything for it. Reading all these Facebook posts on the multiple grief pages I'm associated with. At times I read fresh ones coming in and I'm able to respond to them. And a few others, maybe, maybe not. Some of the people coming in are just freshly grieving or just talking about their grief. At times I'll be able to respond and other times I don't. I try to share my experience, strength, and hope regarding the situation because I'm just as emotionally screwed up as they are. And I know there are grief coaches out there trying to help people out left and right. I know people have made books trying to help others out, but I think they're trying to make a living off of pain. And I can't condone it, nor do I support it sometimes. Good advice when people are trying to promote it, but trying to profit off of people's pain. I remember one particular page I got banned because I mouthed off on that one. I know the advice was sound and they were trying to help out, the author was. However, I still felt disgusted about it because I'm seeing someone profiting off of pain. And I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with that kind of idea, concept, mindset. None of it. None of it. Despite the fact they may have been trying to help me out by letting me share the experience, strength, and hope. The reason why I keep doing these videos and mouthing off on an audio log all the time is to get it off, because if I don't, I'm going to blow up. I'm going to blow up inside, and I'm not going to be able to deal with myself or anybody else for that matter. And I won't be able to look at myself in the mirror or be able to respond to anybody else for that matter. Like this is supposed to be a response. There are other people out there trying to make their way and trying to understand why things happen. There's going to be things in life we can't explain and we're not supposed to understand. We can only guess at this point. Why one brother had to kill himself because of his other brother's dead. When one is in grieving mode, one understands. One understands the pain and the temptation too damn badly. I know. Because I have to face it almost every single day. It gets to a point where I'm starting to seek help from an established enemy of mine throughout the years. I'm not talking about frenemy. I'm talking about enemy. The medical establishment. Same guys kept trying to take care of my ass throughout the years by telling me one way or another that all the pain and all the grieving is just like white lab coat syndrome. And every time I keep seeing a doctor's office or smock being in an office like that, even if it's for a therapy, my blood pressure is rocketing. Sky is going through the roof. Almost to the point of going to be putting me through a heart attack. Because I don't want to be there. I don't even want to deal with it. I want to deal with any other medical professional at this point over here, except I've got no choice. There are certain things in life that I have to confront and I have to deal with to use some of their services. And in order to do that, I've got to go through something I really don't want to go through. I don't want to see a primary care physician. I know my body's falling apart. I'm not taking care of it as well as I am. I'm falling apart mentally and physically. I'm almost okay with that. Because if I'm going to be deteriorating this fast, then I'm going to be ready to die. But then someone will probably think I'm on a slow motion course to suicide. Well, my life was going to be dying anyway in the first place. I was going to start to die when I start to born. That's what the people would say. I grow up to die. I have to experience what limited life is here. Learn all the lessons I can, whatever lessons they are. Good, bad, and different. I may be screwed up. I may not be. I don't know. I may pass. I may fail. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is my mother and my brother are dead. They are my core family. They are my life, my joy, my happiness. I cry. I grieve. I go insane. You see the pictures on the cabinet right next to me. I'm going to turn the camera. The hardest damn thing for me to feel is lost because of them. On the top shelf are some of my animals and my core family. My mother, Mary Ann Shaw, my brother, David Worth Shaw. The two people that mean the life of me a great deal. I know people are going to be telling me about that I should do something worthwhile to memorialize them. I'm dumping on YouTube. I'm pouring my heart and soul and stories out on YouTube. I'm putting my videos out there for people to know that if I'm going to be going down that final pathway, either by choice or by no choice, then at least there's a cookie trail. There are large cookies called videos and audio recordings. Not on YouTube, but personal. But they will keep telling you, will say what's going on, because they'll keep track of whatever I've been putting on them in order to keep track of what's going on in here and in here. It's not easy making that damn choice. The pain is so damn badly you can't even talk to anybody about it. And once you made that commitment, that's it. You're on it. There's no way of talking a person out of it, the damn thing. He's going to kill himself. He doesn't want to deal with anything else. He don't want to hear anything else. Wants to kill himself to get rid of the damn pain and to be part of that someone he just lost or she just lost. It is not easy to talk to somebody who's on that path. Trust me. I haven't been on the path. I've come close to it. And no fault of my own. Chemical induction into my system. And I felt out depressed as hell. But not grieving. Not like this right now. Not like this right now. Because for a long while I have been grieving, I've been pouring out my heart and soul like crazy, I've been losing my mind. And when I am sane, I'm struggling to keep it. And when I've been going to college and going into taking the courses necessary, I've been trying to keep focusing on it because I don't want to focus on the other end. Because the other end is going to be putting me under almost permanently. The grieving and depression will be killing me at this point where I won't care about anything. I will physically kill this body, one way or another. Only because I know that the emotions will be so intense that I won't be thinking it. I'll be running on automatic. And that's the terrifying thing right there. Once you're on automatic, there's nobody going to be stopping you at this point over here except physically to throw you into a straitjacket. Because at that point, you're committed. But the other thing that they never talk about at this point over here, even though it may be considered a religion, it may be considered a religious situation here, is how you're going to be able to face the Creator at this point over here and explain it to Him why you killed yourself. Come on. You got to ask yourself that damn question there. You got to. You got to ask yourself that damn question right there automatically. Because if you don't, what the hell is going to happen at this point? I'm going to show you something. What was it? 988? The new number, which is similar to the emergency number, but it's confusing as hell because they're trying to make this number as less confusing as hell. I know we all seen this one. I'm just trying to get my phone working here too. Right. Okay. Bury it in your subconscious. Bury it in your nightmares. Bury it into your conscious memory. I'm serious. As I said before, I'm no guru, but we actually had something like this a long time ago. Besides going through 911 and then going through this thing or that thing just to get help, I'll tell you, it's been crazy. They have these nice long 800 numbers that will drive you crazy trying to get this hotline or that hotline, including the suicide hotline that people kept trying to dial but couldn't even reach it in time. That number theoretically is supposed to be easily enough to remember and reach. This hasn't been easy for me. Talking about my feelings and thoughts like this on all the damn videos. Other times I can be free about it, and other times I'm feeling like I'm pulling teeth. Except right now, with my physical deterioration, it should be easy enough to pull the damn teeth out. This is me deteriorating right now in front of you. There was a saying that my brother and I probably believed in a lot, and then looking at my family history for the male side, that looked about right. After the age of 60, all the males in my bloodline were dying off. Immediately after 60, they started to die. And we didn't know why. Some people called it a curse. It probably is a curse. But I will tell you, my brother was part of it. It should scare the hell out of me that I'll be part of it. But if I happen to continue to do a few things along the way, I'm not going to be afraid of it. Because at least at this point, I'll be looking directly into my Creator's face. And I'll probably tell him, look, I did the best I could. You can judge me for all that it's worth. But at least this time, boss, I wasn't going on my terms. I went on yours. And that would tell me something. That means I didn't want to do it. As much as I was tempted, as much as I felt like it, as much as I wanted to be with my family. Because to me, the most important thing in my whole existence was my family. Not solving a damn ego's problem. And it should have been taking care of my family would have been the greatest thing in my life. Being a caregiver. Not being published. However, I'd like to have been published for my works. But if not, so be it. But none of the family I had would be taking care of my brother in any way, shape, or form. Or even Ma, for that matter. And I helped with my mother. But I did the best I could for my brother. And it may not have been perfect, God. And I thanked you for your assistance on it because I really, absolutely needed it. So you can blast me down if you think. But I'm here because you wanted me here. Not because I wanted to be here. Because I know I'd be a selfish, egotistical narcissist or whatever. A guy in pain because he wanted to be with his family. And I do, and I still do. And I love them a great much. And you can't take that away from me, oh God. Family's important. Familia. Surely you, of all people, would understand it. Being part of familia, of family, is something the greatest lesson to be ever learned. I would hope I get the chance to say that to him. Because to me, it didn't matter if I got famous or not. If I wrote and my works got published, it didn't matter. Because taking care of my family would have been the greatest thing, and I missed out on the important things because I was focusing on the task at hand. And then I'm grieving because and feeling guilty because I screwed up. I screwed up somewhere. And I don't know how. I feel like I'm still guilty at this damn thing because I didn't do it right for him. With him. It had to been something. I don't know what I screwed up on. Maybe my mother, my brother would probably tell me, look, I did the best I could. There's no guilt. But there is grief. And there is a deep loss. And this I can't put back into the damn box. I can't. I can no longer put this in the box. I can't. I can't wish them back to life because I don't want them back to life. They're with him. They're with him. And they're supposed to be with him. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry, Dave. But I'm not ready to go just yet. As much as I want to be with you guys.